Say you don't care who goes to that kind of place. Eating with a hoopla, sinking in light.
Hear the music?
Too many runaways, eating up the night. My heart is the mama. Listen to the radio.
You remember? Wow, that was loud. Sausage rolls. We built this city on rock and roll. We built this city. Making it louder. Ooh, that's fine.
We just want to dance here. Someone's over the stage. They call us irresponsible. Right out us off the page.
Raise them up. Listen to the radio. Remember, we built this city on rock and roll. Built this city. We built this city on rock and roll. Hi everyone. I'm a bit late today. Sorry, I had to organize my technology. And I'm also on YouTube as well. So all right, one more. So, hi everyone. I'm just going to stop my music. I hope everyone's well. Hello to everyone on our YouTube channel. I haven't done a YouTube in a while, so I thought I'd jump on today. Might be a little staggered there, but hopefully it's okay. So welcome everyone. Big warm welcome to all of our excuse me, new members on our support group on Facebook as well, and all of our followers on YouTube, to everyone on Facebook groups. If you haven't already, we've got some really great videos across our YouTube channel as well. So we'll post it back to the group as well. There's so many great videos on there. All about Demodex mites, anything that you want to know. Sorry for the stream of light coming from my head. Maybe I'll turn a light off. That's kind of very annoying. But anyway, I'd like to think I am descendant from the mite gods above. Oh! So if you're not watching this now, you can watch it back later as well. Any questions you guys have, please feel free to comment. Thanks so much, Alex, for good to go. Yeah, so my name's Emma Jones. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm a Demodex care consultant at Ungex. This is Ungex. I'm waving my Ungex flag. Oh, so that could be back the front. I think it is, but that's okay. I'm just gonna sing. So if you haven't seen my videos before, I do tend to repeat myself sometimes, just in case any new people are watching as well. I'm here to talk all about Demodex mites and the problems that they cause for a lot of people. So, firstly, if you want to know anything more about Demodex mites, please jump on our website, ungex.com. So we've got heaps of blogs on there, heaps of information. Anything that you want to know about Demodex mites is on our website. We are We are based in Melbourne, Australia. So we've been helping people treat Demodex mites since our beginnings in 2011. So we've been doing this for a while now. So we're constantly trying to spread the awareness, especially in the medical field, about these mites. So what are Demodex mites? Should have got some water. Demodex mites are a microscopic parasite that live under our hair follicles and in our oil glands. So they are a very common mite. Everyone actually, we all do have Demodex mites. So that's why they tend to get really overlooked in the medical field. Because we actually do all have Demodex mites. Sorry, I'm just getting some stuff out to show you guys. So they're a horrible, horrible microscopic parasite that feed off our sebum and our oil. And so all those good oils that help our skin to grow and our hair to grow, that is their main source of food. So they're not so much of a problem when there's like one or two of them, because you can't even see them with the naked eye to begin with. So when there's one or two, they're not, we can barely feel them. But when there's more than one or two, that's when they can become a really big issue for a lot of people. So I talk to so many people every day with these problems from these horrible mites. So when they become in an highly overpopulated density area, that's when they can cause a lot of ongoing skin issues. So if you've had ongoing issues such as rosacea, hair thinning, hair loss, blepharitis, dandruff, itching, flaking of the skin, large poring, any of these symptoms, and generally what I find is a lot of people who have a high infestation of as well do have a lot more going on. So there are two types that live in the human body, Demodex brevis and Demodex folliculorum. So brevis lives in the skin and folliculorum lives in our hair. So generally, sometimes, everyone's completely different. Some people just have brevis going on in the skin and acne and rosacea and stuff like that. I start itching when I start talking about them. And other people just primarily have them in their hair. So a big, number one reason, number one question I do get asked is, how do I know? How can I find out if I've got these mites? So we have our Demodex quiz, which is online. You'll see it on our webpage, and you'll see it's called Demodex quiz. I've done some walkthroughs of it. I generally try and do one a week as well, just to go through the questionnaire. So that quiz is accurate because we help treat people globally. Excuse me. So from that quiz, we really ask factors as to why you might have populations, or if there are mites present. There's a lot that can go into having Demodex mites. So if you have excuse me, that's really annoying. If you have a compromised immune system, if you have super sensitive skin, those two factors can be a really play a very big important role as to having higher populations as well. Demodex mites are contagious, so they do they can live off the skin for 52 hours. So in that time period, if you're in an environment or there's more environmental mites as well, if you're exposed to them as well in those environments, unfortunately you can just become quite a magnet for anything. So there's a lot in my job. I wish I could see, I wish I had x-ray vision. I wish I could see into the past and the future as well. Unfortunately I can't, but I have been doing this job for a little while now, so I know I know the symptoms and how people what's going on with the skin and what they're experiencing. I can sort of tell what's been going on. And especially a big indication that you do have mites is feeling itchy, feeling creepy crawly on your skin, because they do move across the skin. So don't let anyone else tell you that it's all in your head, because just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not real, because unfortunately it's the same story I hear, and I'm just so disheartened every day with a lot of people that I speak to, going to specialists and seeking help and treatments, or just simply going to specialists. Look, I have something on my skin, can you help me? I think it's playing a very big role in my skin issues. And honestly, I really do think mites are so hard to treat, as I'm sure a lot of people in the group can agree, that they really get overlooked because they are simply so, I find, very smart, if anything. And they're 100% incurable as far as I'm aware of. I do know I've had some customers, they're like, oh my, I don't have any issues anymore. I had mites for a little bit and now they're gone, which is excellent, which is amazing. But unfortunately, they're always going to be there anyway, because we do all have them. So you can get microscopic testing for mites if you really want. I get why some people, in terms of like getting treatment, you want to know what you're treating for, getting a diagnosis before you start any treatment, especially with us. We totally understand that. We do microscopic testing in our head office in Ungex in Melbourne, but we're still sort of getting out of COVID, so we should be on, I think, back in action soon. And we've got a couple of testing centres around Melbourne as well, in pharmacies, which is really exciting. So it's becoming more available, definitely here in Melbourne. But I know for you guys overseas, it's really hard to get treated for mites, because there is a certain way to specifically test for mites as well. So we're always happy to help guide if you want to. It's really easy to test for. You can just get a microscope yourself and we can guide you through the process. So and generally most of the time when people go in asking for could you test me for mites, I honestly think what happens is there are mites probably present, but the doctors don't, they're just like, oh yeah, or they don't know what they're looking for when it comes to mites as well, because sometimes there can be dead bodies, debris, bacteria left over from the mites, so we know exactly what we're looking for, whereas doctors will do skin samples and stuff like that, which is understandable, biopsies, especially I know people that have seborrheic dermatitis and stuff like that, they really just know how to treat for symptoms, not successfully treat for mites. So I know, in terms of getting the correct treatment, there's a lot of topicals out there and chemicals and so many different, different chemical-based treatments. But unfortunately, what happens with those, you end up giving your skin a blast of chemicals. You give your immune system a blast of chemicals, and it can definitely kill some for a short-term period. But the problem with these mites is that they have a life cycle. So like anything that's alive, they have a life cycle. So I always like to tell people about the life cycle, just so you can understand a bit more like that these mites are actually happening, because when there is a cycle present, it really determines that there are these mites there causing these ongoing skin issues. So the cycle, this is what Ungex does. We treat them in these cycles, and we're very realistic in treatment, because most importantly, and what sets us apart is that we actually care about your skin. Because unfortunately, what we find is, a lot of people out there, you end up doing your own research, of course, which is great because we're still spreading that awareness of how to treat them. And there's so many different, like, it's great people are doing their own research now and getting so knowledgeable about it, which I totally get. You end up being quite the expert on mites, which is amazing. But unfortunately, a lot of like at-home remedies and stuff like that, their main source of food is oil. So if you're putting a heap of makeup on the skin, a heap of creams on the skin, shampoos, conditioners, etc., they just have small oil-based properties. So that's another reason why you potentially have high infestations, because you're feeding them without realizing, which is really common. And unfortunately, people with mites, I say this to everyone, is that I get it's a very it's a horrible thing, and I totally sympathize for everyone, because that's my job. I don't have mites, but I tell you what, at the end of the day, because I just know what people are going through, and I'm a very empathetic person, so I feel, and I have a big heart, and I know how hard it is. And look, with our treatment at Ungex, it does take time. It's a really simple treatment. It's an at-home skincare regime, because we need to treat not just you, but your immediate environment. See, I'm itching. So it does take time. You can't expect instant results, because that's not realistic. So that's something that I really wanted to share with people. You've got to give the products time. I think my colleagues can agree, is that it just takes time, and that's the biggest thing that we can't give you. But I can 100% assure you, the people that have stuck with the treatment and kept going, and it does feel endless, but out of all that hard work and determination pays off. So our treatment system is a protocol. So you've got to use all the products correctly and how we say to get the best results. So you can't just pick and choose with the products. I know a lot of people sort of start doing their own protocol and doing other things alongside of it, which really doesn't help the process. What happens is, if you're using a heap of different treatments all together, they just start to interrupt each other. So you're really staggering the process, and you just sort of getting one step ahead, but really you're falling behind, and it's just a bit of a jumbled mess. So it does happen, and I guess people, it's hard to think just one treatment will be successful. But as my dad used to say, keep it simple, stupid. Simple is the key. I had a customer, and I like sharing customer stories. Thank you so much for joining. The customer started off with our treatment, Ungex treatment, and he did have lower populations. So when you have lower populations, of course, it doesn't take as long to treat. So he just had some rosacea going on, and I think that was maybe some in his hair, but not anything all over his body, because I know it wasn't extreme. So he started the treatment with us, and he couldn't believe that just washing with normal water by itself works. I know it's crazy, but part of our treatment system is that we don't over cleanse the skin. We've got all these tips and tricks. So we make sure you don't over cleanse the skin, because a lot of people do that when it comes to mites. You just want to wash and wash and wash your skin. But he got to a point in about, it was probably 2 months, I was gobsmacked. And he's like, I feel incredible. My skin's completely cleared up. He goes, I know they're still there, but nowhere near, to when he started. He had really good immune system. That's really important. He was active. He just did everything. He had every weapon in his tool belt, so to speak. So he followed the protocol, and we're always in touch because everyone is completely different. So, no one's skin is the same. So what may be happening for you is not necessarily happening for someone else. So especially when it comes to reading a lot of stuff on the web, I know on the group, it's like, well, I read this about this person and they were experiencing this or they were using that, but this didn't work for me. So you've just got to be realistic that we all have completely different immune systems. We all have completely different skin types. So that's what makes it even more complex. But this customer, I was very delighted, but he said, I couldn't believe that just washing with normal water, it still helps to remove bacteria. So trust the water and trust the process, because it is a process. So about the life cycle of Demodex, this is where I like telling people about the life cycle of Demodex, because this is where you can sort of gauge that, okay, I think I have mites playing a very big role in these problems. So generally what we find, so you think of I usually do a little, I haven't done one in a while, but, I'll pull it out here. I might do this while I'm on a roll. So, that's not going to work. All right. I like to give a bit of a visual. It's good to show a visual. I don't know if... All right. It's my old tea towel. Welcome to Emma's cleaning segment. It's always good to practice good hygiene. So, ta-da! I think I've got a working texture. Now, maybe I'll do it there. So, no. When you remember seeing something and you put something down somewhere and you're like, where did I put that? I'm having one of those moments. I think it might be. Where did I put that? All right. Oh, where did I go? So, all right. No one's watching anyway. That's cool. So, this is a hair follicle, and this is your skin. So this is all the sebum and oil. And that's what the Demodex feed off. So that's their main source of food. And this is where they live. They live and breed and hang out and lay the eggs all in here. So that's where they lay all of their eggs. Which is absolutely horrible. So going well today. I was going. Okay. So I think you can see that. Yes. Okay. So that's a hair follicle and it's trying to grow. So you think of like, you know, a garden. You've got pests in your garden and you need to get rid of them. But if you're throwing like heaps of fertilizer on your garden and you've got these horrible, it's probably too many legs. These horrible pests in your garden. Yes, I made it look like a horrible caterpillar, but that's not spot on. So if you're trying to get rid of pests in your garden, but you're throwing a heap of fertilizer on it, you know, if you're putting hair treatments and stuff like that, it's all well and good like for the skin, but it's food for these guys. So the nutrients aren't getting to your skin and your hair, but it's actually just feeding them. So basically we've got to get rid of the pests in the garden. Then the hair and skin can grow again. So what happens is the Demodex come out from these hair follicles at night, and that's when they're the most active. So if you've got symptoms, if you can feel movement at night, that is a big indication that they are there, because that's when they're the most present. So that's when they come out, they feed, they mate, and do all their nasty business, crawl around, go to town, and that's when I'm just trying to. Thank you for watching, someone. Alex. I'm just getting some. All right. So that's when they feed off the hair follicles, and they cause an inflammatory response in the follicles as well. So that'll cause all that itching, that creeping, crawling, the redness as well. So the skin becomes inflamed, basically because they're ravaging everything, which is absolutely horrible. So if you're using a lot of cosmetics and stuff like that, you're basically just feeding them. And look, it is common. A lot of people do it. So, and just here it is. Okay, so what happens is they come out at night, they breed, and then they lay these eggs deep in the hair follicles. So not only if you're suffering a large infestation, you've not only got the adults that are coming to the surface at night, you've still got the eggs that haven't even hatched yet. So this is what Ungex works to treat and how we can target them and kill them off in these life cycles. So Females lay their eggs 12 hours after mating. So they're 12 hours. And they lay, as I said, inside these hair follicles. So that's where all the good stuff is. They feed off that. Then the eggs hatch. It takes about, so each female Demodex can lay up to 20 eggs in one hair follicle. So, you think we've got so many hair follicles on our head. It's insane how many there can be. So their life cycle is it takes about 7 days for the young mites. So once they hatch, they come to the surface at night, and then they continue eating and doing what they do best. And it takes about 7 days for them to become adults. During this time, they crawl up to the surface, as I said, and that's the life cycle is exactly 14 to 16 days. So the life cycle. So this is really evident that a lot of people feel like, as I said, like topical treatments and stuff like that, it can definitely kill some that are coming up on the surface. But these guys haven't even hatched yet. So that's what we work in to treat the life cycles. So the only effective way you can target the Demodex is at nighttime when they come to the surface of the skin, and we kill them off in these life cycles. So how do we do that? Well, that's where we come in with our protocol system. So it's really easy. Our protocol system consists of sprays, simple sprays, a cleanser, and a hair tonic. So it is a 4-step protocol system. You get the products in little boxes like these as well. So what I get asked a lot is like, the bottles are made this size, 125 ml. They're made that size to not cause overuse of the products, because a little does go a long way. So the main thing, I won't go into it. Basically, I'll tell you, is that every single treatment is customized. So, we gauge what your symptoms are, what your skin type is like, if you have super sensitive skin, and the products are 100% all natural. So products have been researched and developed by our development team. So we know what we're doing. We studied the Demodex in the best way we can go about killing them off the skin. And it is about, we treat them realistically, guys, because, I don't promise anyone that you will be Demodex-free. It's about getting the populations. It's not dry enough. It's about getting the populations to a manageable level, because, as I said, we do all have them. So we've got to get you to a point where the populations are decreased. And products are all natural. Woo. And you've got to do it every single night, every night. That's the key. That's the key. I've got people that are like, when they say that our products don't work, how long have you been using it for? Are you doing it every night? Oh, no, I might do it every second night, and I'm doing it like once a month. So, it is an investment. It's a long-term solution, and we make sure we check in. You've got to make sure you're doing it correctly, because that sees the best results. So if you've got a large infestation, it does take 3 to 4 months. That's our recommended treatment time. Of course, if you have Lower infestations, some people recover in 2 months to get those populations to a manageable level. And I think realistically, I've got customers that are like, started with us last year. They're like, oh, it's terrible, but they've persisted at it. Some people have taken, 7 months. Other people have taken, a year and a half just because they've got other complications going on with their immune system. So everyone is different. Everyone is different. Individual. So that's what we cater for, So it is an easy treatment system. You've got to follow the steps, all our advice as well. You've got to do it every night. You've got to not over cleanse the skin, but that's everything that's included when you purchase. So just to let you guys know, we have our Black Friday sales on, which is awesome. So if you wanted to get started, it's a really good time to get started with our Black Friday, and we'll have Cyber Monday as well. Even if you just want to, dip your toe in the water, I would recommend a basic kit to begin with. That'll get you for about 2 months. So that has one of our sprays, which is our SDT spray. So that's our spray there, and this kills the mites, and it's got a cleanser as well. So all the products it's like, it's a machine. So to get the best results, you've got to use everything in synergy to get the best results. So that has a cleanser and our SDT spray. That's the basic kit. So our Black Friday sales, it's such a good deal. So I'm just going to write this here, but I don't know if you can see it. Or guys, even if you if you just want to know more information, I'm never here, to pressure anyone, but I just, we just really want to help everyone, and I always work with what people can afford. So that's our, I don't know if you can see it, Black Friday. Oh, that's back to front. That's awesome. But I'll put it down below on the comment section. Black Friday 2 for 1. So if you type in the code Black Friday 2 for 1, that's backwards. I just look silly. Black Friday 2 for 1, BF 2 for 1. Then we'll actually double your order. So if you want to get a basic kit, we'll double that, and that means you get enough for about 3 months. If you want to get a bundle, you'll get 2 bundles. So the bundles actually treat you for the whole treatment time. So you'll get 2 bundles, and that's enough to keep one person going for 8 months, 8 or 9 months. So we always put in extras and stuff, but of course it's my job, but I've seen so many people come back from the brink of large infestations, and I'm pretty truthful when it comes to treatment. It's hard work killing mites. It takes a physical and mental toll. And some things to really help, especially on the group. The group is amazing, but these mites can be controlled. They don't control you. So try and do good things that make you feel happy. Do some yoga, do some tai chi, listen to music. When you're in a really big mite mindset, you kind of have blinkers on a bit. So I really think, and I was talking to a customer recently, your mindset really determines everything. So if you're suffering with depression, or you're going through a hard time, of course you're going to focus on things that aren't good. So try and stay positive, guys. Another thing I wanted to sort of on the group, we created the support groups as a safe space for people to share what they're going through. etc. So, you know, if you've got to be prepared to see pictures of mites, and even some, like, you know, you might see some disturbing images. But look, unfortunately, you know, we are a parasite and mite group, so we're spreading this awareness about these mites. So if that, you know, if that's sensitive content, you know, please unfollow or hide it. But it's part of my job. You know, we've got to spread this awareness. So I know mites aren't pretty at all. They're horrible, but we're here to help. And we do have our clubhouse rooms on as well. If you haven't joined, please do. It's a great platform. We've got speakers from all over the world. Our founding manager, he's an amazing speaker. We've got a B2B one this afternoon. So please jump on. It'll be at, I think it's around 5 p.m. Australian time, which might be quite late everywhere else, or early. But yeah, so sorry for my whiteboard fail, but Black Friday sales is valid. We started them early. Well, today, coming up, whatever. I don't know. Days and time are all the same to me. So that's going to be valid till the 30th of this month. So guys, 2 for 1. It's so good to get started. Even if you just want to get one product, I would highly recommend our PDT spray, because it is the strongest. So that PDT helps to kill mites. Also has antiviral properties. It has, and it comes in this little awesome box as well. So that's it there. So PDT is excellent. I use it on everything. It has antiviral properties. Even you can spray it on your mask, especially in these days where we need to be very health conscious. But yeah, please jump on, do the quiz if you haven't already. We've always got online chat there as well, and you can always email me, care@ungexes.com. I'll put it down below in the comments. So, but thank you for watching, everyone, and I hope everyone's well, and all my customers. I hope you guys are all well, and lots of love. But thanks, guys. Bye.